What is mental well-being? Well, from a yogic perspective, mental well-being is all about being in balance on a body, heart, mind level, as well as within your connection within the spirit within you. And of course, Patanjali, in his 8 steps and the 8 limbs, talks about how important it is to enter into the mind. Because the whole 8 steps is not about yoga, as in body and movement work. It is about balancing, it's about directing that mind and sharpening that mind so that you can be successful in everything that you do. So when Patanjali talks about the 8 steps, the most fundamental information he gives you is in the first 2 steps. Why? Because mindset is everything. Mindset is everything. The way we receive life and perceive life determines how we act. You've heard me say this before. And the way we act then has consequences in our life. So positive thoughts have positive actions, positive experiences. Negative thoughts have negative experiences, and of course we act because we act negatively. So it's clear, isn't it, that it's all about how we receive that world into our world, our inner world. So when we look at and Patanjali knew this. So what did he do? He said, okay, what you want to do is first practice yama. And what is yama? Directly speaking, it is about self-restraint, but actually it's not about self-restraint at all. It's about directing your life in a way, because he knew that all human beings have only a certain amount of energy, and that energy needs to be directed in the right way. And when it is directed in the right way, a whole world opens up to you. The world that enables you to be who you are in your power. Okay, so then the examples he gives is, the most important examples he gives is satyam, truth, ahimsa, non-violence, and then of course there's a whole list, and you know this from your books, all right? But what I want to talk about is that I want to talk about satyam, because satyam is in principle a unifying value. When we live in truth, when we speak the truth, when we act in truth, and when we perform our deeds in our lives in truth, the whole of our personality comes into alignment. Why? How does this work? Well, I just want to remind us that, there are 4 parts to our personality. The knower, the thinker, the feeler, and the doer. Okay? And when all of these parts of ourselves are in alignment, we experience wholeness, we experience strength, we experience our power. When we speak an untruth, what actually happens is you actually divide your personality. How does that work? Okay, so just a quick mechanism explaining this, that say somebody buys a car for 500 euros, and then they sell it and put it up in the market and say, actually, I bought it for 800. Now, that lie actually creates a division in the personality. Now, how does that impact in your life? Well, when you go, for instance, if you go to sleep and you put the alarm on for 6 a.m., you put the alarm on, and the knower in you puts the alarm on for 6 o'clock, and the doer in you, when the alarm goes off, actually picks up the clock and throws it out and goes back to sleep. That division is what actually takes place in our body and in our minds. So to prevent that, it's very important to live, speak, and walk our talk. And of course, Gandhi showed us that, Martin Luther King showed us that. That is why they picked this, they were successful in what they wanted to achieve. Okay, now that's just yam. But when we talk about niyam, according to Patanjali, why did he speak about niyam? He realized that lifestyle, rhythm and regularity was very important. So we needed to cultivate ways of living that would bring the body and the mind to rest. Otherwise, it goes into chaos. Doesn't know where to go, doesn't have a direction, and therefore what happens? You actually create chaos in your body-mind. And of course, therefore, do not experience peace. Peace is born from a point where there is balance in the body, heart, and mind. Okay, so what he did is he said, for instance, we just have to look at one value called santosha. Santosha means contentment, right? And contentment is all about accepting life as it is now. So all of us, you, me, and we are all facing a very unique kind of phenomena in the world with the pandemic that is going on at this moment in time. And how we take that into our lives is all to do with whether we receive, how we receive it, of course. And when we accept, then a lot of doorways open for us. A lot of ways, the ways forward become available to us. So looking at just accepting is a very important process. It's not only a thought, it's not only a value, it's a deep kind of understanding that establishes itself in our being. Okay, so when we enter into that place, then we can go into what Patanjali we talked about is asana. Asana is about resting on a mindful level, resting in a place of total equilibrium, total balance. So today what I'm going to do now, and my last point actually, I want to just share one more point, and that is that one thing is crucial in everything that brings balance in our lives, and that is start by building a strong relationship of love and affection for yourself. Why? Because this is the platform for a real and lasting change. When we want to change something, first we have to move from a place of being totally happy with where we are. Then only it is possible to rise above.